everyone, and welcome back to another video. I'm super excited to be filming today. Aside from my dog running around in this video because I'm out in the main area, I hope you guys enjoy. We're going to be doing a little bit of an updated version of my cart as well as my bookshelves that I just reorganized. So let's get started. So we're starting on the top shelf of the TBR cart. I haven't updated any stickers, so if you are more interested in the stickers, I do have the last couple that I have gone through all of the stickers that are on the cart, but we're just going to be doing kind of an update on the book situation. But if you are interested in all the stickers, I do have other videos. I think the last two I went more in depth on the stickers, but I haven't gotten any new ones yet. So up top we have the most important in my TBR right now. So I just finished One Dark Window that was over here as well. So we have Bag of Bones that has been on here for quite a while, but I just got it re-recommended to me by my fiance's aunt, so I have it higher up on my list now. We have both Stacey Willingham mystery kind of thriller-y. We have a V.E. Schwab, which I also just pre-ordered, another V.E. Schwab that's going to go up here. Briar Club I moved up by Kate Quinn because it's been on here for a while and I know I'm going to love it, so I decided to just bump it up a little bit. The two Lisa Jewels that are higher up on my list right now are Invisible Girl and None of This Is True. So that is the top shelf of like most important on the list right now. The secondary shelf is more so like books that have been on here for a while that are high up on the list, but I don't have a timeline whatsoever. And these are all standalones, as far as I know, every single one of these. So we have Wayward that is still on here. We have One Italian Summer. I just got the audiobook. Sorry about that. This one I just got the audiobook for, so it's definitely higher up on the list and will probably end up going on the top shelf in a little bit. 1,000 Splendid Suns I was just re-recommended by somebody at my work, so that is higher up as well. Ariadne has been on here honestly the longest. I just have to be in a mood for mythology in order to get into that. Same thing with The Witch's Heart. It's more mythology. I think this one's Norse mythology, if I remember. So I have to be in a mood for mythology. Lucy Foley, The Paris Apartment. I have heard some off and on things, so I'm not 100% sure on The Paris Apartment now because I've heard some off and on things. The Book Thief is still on here. It's been on this list, on this shelf for a while, but it is still there. It is still on my TBR and I plan to read it. It's just very low on my list. That's where I'm at. These ones, I just recently took out One Dark Window, so that was not. This is my Game of Thrones. I'm on book 2 and I'm just not putting it anywhere. It's just right here. because I know that it's going to happen and it's ongoing. So there's no reason for it to go up top or anything. This is all the series. So this is, even if it's like a duology or anything like that, this is all series that's on my list. And specifically, Phantasma is going to be higher up. Ink and Bone is also higher up on the list. I have Twilight on here, but I would also be reading it with Midnight Sun, because I'm doing a tandem read for Throne of Glass right now, which is going splendidly. And then I also wanted to tandem read Twilight and Midnight Sun because it's from dual perspective. I haven't started this series, and a lot of people told me to start it. I need to get on board with that and actually figure that out. This one has also been on my list for quite a while. This one I'm still uncertain of whether or not it's going to stay on my TBR. Tempest of Tea was supposed to be really, really good. It is still high up on my list. It's just, I have a lot going on, and it's hard to read the books that I want to read, and it's easier for me to read audiobooks, so other books are taking priority because I don't have the audiobook for some of these that I would love to read, but I just don't have the capability right now, especially with the Throne of Glass tandem read that is taking a lot of my physical reading energy. It makes it hard to want to read physical books when I am going back and forth between two, and then I have audiobooks and I love audiobooks right now. When What the River Knows, I would like to read book 2, but I have to read the first one before I convince myself, because at this point I do have a lot of books, as you can see. Oh my gosh. I wish I can cut that out. That was so loud. I have a lot of books on my shelf right now that I need to read, so I can't add any more sequels and stuff. Moving over to the entirety of my library right now is going to start on the very top with a display for Rachel Griffin books, and on the very top is another display, but we're going to start here. So on this very top is the display of the Rachel Griffin books. This one here is going to be all dystopian. So I have the Divergent series, we have the Mirror Visitor series, we have the Giver, Fahrenheit 451 sits on the top because that is the version that I will lend out. I have 3 versions of that book. I have my little collection of Audrey. If you've been on this channel before, I have talked about what I'll call my author Instagram bestie, where I am super stoked whenever she comes out with another book, because I love the characters that she creates and the stories that she makes. We have next to that the Hunger Games. It's missing 2 right now. On the lower shelf, this one is going to be all the mystery thrillers, which is a lot, if I do say so, but that's because these 2 are on the cart. So then book 1 is on the cart, book 1 is on the cart. These are unread right now. And then we have all of these. This is a big favorite. This is a huge favorite, and Queen's Gambit is a huge fave as well. My copy of Gone Girl is not here right now. It has been lent out. On the lower shelf, I just rearranged this because I didn't like that there's such a mixture here, and this is only two types, where I have super horror up to here, which is the worst of them all, and then we have from here on is mainly smutty romance, and it starts with the sci-fi right here that throws everybody off. Below that, the bottom shelf is all of the historical fiction that I have, which includes, some regular war story, historical fiction. Pretty much all of my historical fiction up to here is all female fronted, and then there's Greek mythology. And I'm adding in some other mythology eventually, but from here to here is all Greek mythology. This is all the Lore Olympus volumes that I have right now. Volume 9, I think, comes out in October. This entire bottom section is all my favorite books, which starts from the Bargainer series, another copy of The Giver from the dystopian section, Death Note manga, the Belladonna series, the Arc of Scythe, which is missing actually one book from here, and then I think this one is Shades of Magic. This one is a new favorite, and I need to get another holder there. But this one, all of these at the bottom are my absolute favorites, and would reread them many times. Over to the top shelf of the right side of the bookshelves, we have another display. These ones are all the special edition versions of books that I have. This one is the Fourth Ring. It's the only edition of Fourth Ring that I have, though. I have another copy of this, two other copies of that, one other copy of that, and one other copy of that. I do like to have multiple copies, especially when one of them is going to be lent out, and this one is going to be more of the display item. So we have those at the top. The next shelf down is going to be all YA. So this whole section here is YA that's going to make you cry. And then this section here is just all young adult kind of fantasy-esque. Pretty much all of this is going to be fantasy from here down, except for this little stack that is just literature that's going to make you cry. These ones obviously I haven't read yet, but this one and Twilight are on the cart technically. One Dark Window I just finished. I am reading book 2 on audio right now, so that is still continuing. This next shelf is an entire shelf just dedicated to Leigh Bardugo, up until about here where I decided to display the new Danielle Jensen because I think it looks really cool. And I didn't realize that I had this many Leigh Bardugo books, so that's a new find for me that this entire section is Leigh Bardugo. And then both of these have signed book plates, but they're not technically like special edition, so I didn't want to include them at the very top shelf. Now, this shelf is incomplete right now. I'm waiting for book 3 in paperback that comes out this month. And the other two that are supposed to go here are currently being tandem read in the other reading room. So this is all fantasy, or what I like to call just romantasy right here. If you're going on the basis of where I have a YA shelf and then the Leigh Bardugo shelf, this is now just romantasy. There's a lot of romance happening in these retellings, so I also wanted to include them here. It's not YA, but it's not high fantasy, so it's all romance and fantasy. That's what I'm going with for that entire shelf. And then we have the last little shelf on the bottom, which is all high fantasy, and that includes Priory of the Orange Tree, which I can't remember the series name right now. I'm sure it's in there. It's not in my brain right now. We have Game of Thrones or Song of Ice and Fire series. 2 of these are missing right now because I need to repurchase the paperback for book 5, and of course book 2 is on the cart, as you saw in a little Game of Thrones book sleeve. We have Arya Stark because she just looks really good right here next to the paperbacks. And then we have the Jade City Greenbone Saga book 1. I read this several years ago, and I still haven't picked up book 2 or 3, and I feel really bad because it was such a good book. I just fell into so many other things, and I feel like I'm gonna have to get book 2 and 3 because I know I'm gonna read them. It just might take me a little bit of time, but if I have them sitting on the cart, then there's a little bit more motivation for it. I don't know. And then of course we have Robin Hobb, our beautiful, beautiful assassin, and the Farseer trilogy. I loved that series so much, but there's no way that I'm reading 16 books just to get to the ending of that. I'm sorry. I love it so much, and I highly recommend it, but it's a lot to get into. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you all enjoyed this little update of my shelves and the DBR cart. And I'll see you all in the next video. Have a good one, and